Now, we don't have to take into consideration the fixed costs of the loaf of bread because the fixed costs would be there regardless of whether we made the bread or did not. So total cost per loaf is here. However, I'm going to go ahead and when I'm comparing apples to apples, I'm going to go ahead and take the fixed costs out. So our real cost is $1.51 per loaf, and outsourcing would cost us $1.70 per loaf. So we're going to save 19 cents per loaf essentially if we went ahead and made them rather than to outsource them in that case. Okay, so let's do another make or sell. So we process cocoa beans into cocoa powder, cost 10,300. So we can sell the cocoa powder as it is or process it into chocolate syrup or chocolates. So here's the revenue for each of them and then the various costs. So what we need to do is kind of set up in Excel a spreadsheet that puts that all together. So let me go down here just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to say that these are the costs, and then we have if we were to sell, and then we have if we were to process further, and then we'll take a look at the difference. So the revenue, let's do revenue per one, 14,500, I think was what it was. If we were to process it, I mean 196,000. And then we have the additional costs. So if we were to just sell, we would have no additional costs. However, if we were to process further, we'd have 179,000 in costs there. This is 14,500. All right, so let's take a look at the difference. This one would just cost us 14,500. This one would cost us 17,000. Or excuse me, would have the total revenue of 17,000. So if we were to process further, essentially it would be an additional 2,500 for us for the chocolate. We can do the same thing with the syrup. So I'm just going to pretend like this is the syrup. So it would be 104,000. And the cost would be 67,000. So in this case, if we were to make the syrup, it would be an additional 22,500. So in each case, it makes sense to go ahead and make those items and process them further.